Hey, today we will be making something that most of you haven't heard of, probably. A European dish, cabbage rolls. This dish is called just pigeons for some reason. Don't forget to stick around to see the secrets of what makes them so delicious. Is it pigeon meat? I'm not sure. Let's roll. Okay, so this dish is simply called cabbage rolls in most of Europe because it makes sense. It has a meat filling that is rolled in some cabbage. Now pigeons? I have no idea why it's called that, but none of that actually matters because it is goddamn delicious. Oh shit! Get out of here, Mom!
No!
Cool. I'll let you continue then. So, first off, we will start off with a medium-sized head of cabbage. It is hard to tell how much cabbage you'll need, but this head was a bit too big for 1 kilogram or 2 pounds of meat. Just keep that in mind. Now, what we do is cut in the core of the cabbage like so. So later on, we can remove the layers easily once we blanch the cabbage. Now we dump this huge head in the pot that fits it. For me, it was this ugly ass pot. Now just fill the pot with water so the head is submerged fully, if possible. If it is not submerged, do not stress it. You can always flip it, my guy. Big brain moment. Now just don't fill it to the brim so it doesn't spill while boiling, and you're set. Great. Turn on the heat and let it boil until the first layer is still firm but not too much and translucent. I'll show you what I mean. Meanwhile, we can get our meat filling and the rest of the vegetables ready. First, let's cut up 2 onions.
Good onion is a heavy onion.
One will be diced like so for the meat filling.
Let me help you, Mom.
I remember I needed help. Now I'm helping them.
And the other one will be sliced into thin slices like so, and it will go to the pot with all the rest of the ingredients. But we'll get to that later. Now let's cut up 2 carrots into straws. You can use a knife to do that, or even shred it with a shredder on the biggest side. Or if you have a mandolin like I have one, you should use that. Now here I'm showing an example of what not to do if you want to keep all your fingers intact. Well, actually, if you're very careful, it is safe to do. This is not a cooking advice though, don't sue me if you get holes in your fingers. Anyway, as I was saying, to keep the fingers intact, you should use a guard if your mandolin comes with one. Now this is cooking advice. Wait, that's a penis. Anyway, once you've done cutting, let your mom mix the meat filling. You should use half a kilo or 1 pound ground pork and equal amount of ground beef. Then to that, add your diced onions, 1 raw egg, some pepper, don't be shy, and spices. Now, my mom doesn't use exact spices. She uses this spice mix here with parsley, onions, parsnip, carrots, celery leaves, chives, leeks, peppers, and dill. Then for some reason, she added Georgian salt that she had on hand. You know, moms. The Georgian salt, though, is not necessary for the dish, so you can skip that. Just substitute it with salt, 1 teaspoon's worth. Okay, so add the herbs like mentioned before, and now let's start mixing. Mom, let's go! Oh, and let's not forget the most important piece of the filling, buckwheat. I use buckwheat, but rice is being used also if you don't like buckwheat, so you can substitute it with that. Now, my mom likes to put them as is because she's gangsta and probably was tired of my shit filming her making food. But come on, I helped cut some vegetables. Okay, usually buckwheat has to be soaked or boiled before in water, but if you follow my mom, everything will turn out perfect and soak in the moisture from all the stuff in the pot. Trust me. No, trust my mom, to be precise. Anyway, now the meat sauce is done. We're ready to check in on the cabbage. Look at that. Its first layer is done. It shouldn't be mushy, it should be fairly strong, but by pressing it with fingers hard, it should fall apart like so. Now, of course, don't forget to flip your cabbage if it's not submerged fully like mine wasn't, and repeat the process until you have all the leaves removed. The middle layers will be very small, so you can just cut them up into smaller cabbage pieces and throw them into the pot layer when we'll fill it up with pigeons, aka cabbage rolls. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now that you have these cabbage leaves here, like my mom does, we can start making the rolls. First, get a tenderizer, which it appears to be a hatchet/hammer contraption of some sort, in my mom's case. And now just tenderize the middle of each cabbage leaf, the stem or whatever it's called. Okay, it is a stem. Okay, now get some of that meat filling from earlier onto the cabbage leaf and roll it carefully and nicely, without ripping it. That's why it has to be pretty sturdy and not mushy. It is to minimize the chances of f***ing up. Once you've done rolling the rolls, we can start layering the pot. Mind you, this will be enough for 4 to 6 people. Just keep that in mind. You'll be able to microwave this food for days.
Hi, I'm gonna teach you guys how to microwave this bread. Put it in the microwave.
Anyway, on the bottom, my mom likes to throw on some bay leaves, like 5, and some peppercorns, like 5 also. Then goes the last onion we cut. Then we layer like 1/3 of all the carrots I've cut up. I got you, Mom. Light work. On top of that, we layer the cabbage rolls. Then goes another 1/3 of the carrots. Now if you have some fresh tomatoes or some tomatoes that are starting to go bad, slice these in. And then add another layer of cabbage rolls. Then we add some dried or fresh dill. Then we add all the same spices by taste, like before. Just like a teaspoon or so. Just leave out the salt. Add in about 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, about 1/3 of a cup of tomato ketchup, then add a couple tablespoons of tomato puree or red sauce if you have that made laying around somewhere. This is what cooking is about. It's like jazz. My mom doesn't even know the recipe to this dish. Then we pour in some water, like 2 cups or so, just for more moisture. And now don't forget that we have to leave some space on the top for the potatoes. Yep, we've had this one huge potato that is the size of like 2 big or 4 medium-sized potatoes. I would suggest adding more potatoes if you like mash with your food. Now scatter them on the top. That way we will have like the whole dish in one pot. Oh wait, don't forget some gallops of butter also. Now since we will be using 1/3 of a cube of vegetable stock, we don't add salt. Also we added some soy sauce before and that stuff is salty. If you want to use your own stock, just use that and add a little bit less water. And now all that is left to do is close the lid and let it simmer for about an hour, but not less than 45 minutes. Or until the potatoes on top are donezo. Great. And towards the end, add in a couple tablespoons of sour cream. Trust my mom on this one. It gives it that freshness or something, I don't know. It just makes it better. Now once everything is boiled and cooked to perfection, all that is left to do is serve and dig in. This shit is bussin'. Nobody uses this word anymore. And apparently it has no pigeon meat in it? Weird, right? Try it if you want to try something new for tonight's dinner. Peace!